Well, man, he's a pioneer, an icon, a trendsetter. You name it, man. He set the bar. And being from California with so much diversity, you knew about it, you celebrated the holiday, but you really didn't get the full in-depth.
Right.
Going to school in the South in Kentucky, right on the top of the South.
Right.
You learn some things.
Yeah.
And, man, it's a beautiful thing how we're living today.
Right.
And, he made the sacrifice, so you tip your hat off to him and you honor him, man.
Well, it's important because my kids will never experience what I had to go through growing up, and that's beautiful. And the only way they'll know is for me to tell them how life was when I was growing up, and probably be embellished a little bit, but they'll never experience it, which is beautiful for all of our kids to not have to go through it. But it's important to hand it down for generations to come.
Today means a lot, for all colors, race, girls, women, female, males, everybody, because, it was a man who definitely had a vision of equality, and nowadays it is equality, and he did that. I mean, honestly, he had some help, but he was the biggest culprit in doing that, and it's just one of those days where you pay your respect to a man who was such a great human being and a great person, and he went through struggles, and he did everything he did just so I can be where I am right now.
I came through those times, and where you couldn't go in the restaurants, you had to go in the back door to order, couldn't go inside to sit down, segregated schools until I was about in the 4th grade. So I witnessed that firsthand, and so the change today in our society is unbelievable, and it's a compliment to our rate to all the races that we can come together and live together, and it's still not perfect, but it's a long way from what it used to be. So that's why this day is special and should be special to all Americans.
My grandmother, before I left my house, and when I was a kid, she would tell me all the time about the things that she would have to endure and go through, and I think it's something that everyone should know about. No matter who you are, what color you are, what race, I think you should really go back, and it should be something where you are taught what happened and how it happened, and and to show where you are now.
Well, no, we don't share stories in that sense, but I think about.
You get a sense.
I get a sense of it, but I think more of what he's probably going through in that movement, in the civil rights movement. His parents, my grandparents, words can't explain the everyday struggle that they had to go through. So right now, to be honest with you, we got it pretty easy.
Yeah.
We didn't have to go through the extremities of discrimination or segregation. So you got to be blessed and thankful for what you have.
I'll tell you what, the sports has always been the panacea of all of our problems. You can come to sports, there's a camaraderie, you're fighting for the single goal, single purpose. There's a commitment to each other, there's a trust with each other no matter what color, what country you're from, and that's the beautiful thing about sport. And sometimes we let other things get in the way of it, but it's a perfect scenario for everyone to come together, at least for that 2-hour period.